You know what my grandfather told me? You don't get as far as the motherfucker you talk to for no reason. You'll be successful as a motherfucker that you talk to for no reason. What I mean is, if you spending your day talking to a nigga that ain't got nothing going on, what the kind of information can he offer you? Can he help you learn something? Can he teach you something in the conversation?
I compare myself to Steve Jobs or Walt Disney, Howard Hughes, David Stern, Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Jesus, or whatever it is. I'm saying these are my heroes. These are people that I look up to. This is the type of impact I want to make on the earth. If I can make this type of impact up to this point, what can I do if you call Bob Iger and say, yo, give him a shot? If you call Oprah and say, yo, back this kid. His parents were educators. He wants to educate. He wants to look at curriculums and say, how do we simplify that? Exactly what I did in music, I want to apply to product. I want to apply to education. This is what my company, Donda, is about.
All your moves should be premeditated. Don't let nothing surprise you. Anticipate it. You got to put thought into this shit. If you want to reach greatness, you know what I mean? If you want to do something special, you want to do something unique, or you could go out there blindfolded like 99% of these motherfuckers do and just wish or hope you get lucky. Fuck luck.
If this is what I have to live for, then I'm going to take the chance to get more. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens to me. You got to understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You got to also look at that. You have to look at that. You got to look at the environments and places we live in and how things are set up and how things are structured and how we're always the last on the totem pole, even from our schooling to our roads, you know, everything that all the obstacles that's placed in front of us.
What they need to understand is that you should never feel like the world owes you anything. It doesn't. You must accept that it's all on you. That might seem like a very cynical way to view the world, but I would argue that it's actually liberating. You can only feel betrayal when you feel like you're owed something from someone. You can only feel resentment when you had expectation for assistance. When you accept that it's all on you, only then can you finally be free to focus 100% on being the best version of yourself.
Rule number one, nobody owes you nothing. I think once you accept that, you begin to move different. That's when you become a leader. Because if you demand a certain level of respect, you demand a certain level of loyalty, it's only gonna come from you showing it and you giving it. A motherfucker being able to come and talk to you about something and it never being repeated. A motherfucker, once that's established, that lasts a lifetime.
They don't even realize that when they box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box or put Donda in a box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box. And you know, people can write all they want, but what are people doing? And if there's anybody that's out there doing, they know how hard it is to actually do. And I'm like a motivation of the doers. If everything I did failed, which it doesn't, it actually succeeds. But if everything I did failed, just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they don't even try. Like, one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying. And I'm not trying my hardest and I'm not trying to do it the best way that I know how with what little information I get.
It's always good to compare yourself to people you look up to, right? Because you give yourself a high goal. You set high standards for yourself. And, you know, just compare yourself to the greats. Set the bar really high.
You know, I ain't have a plan B. I said it absolutely has to work. You know, so I'll stay focused and I'll make it happen.
Point in my life where my Truman Show boat has hit the painting. And I've got to a point that Michael Jackson did not break down. I have reached the glass ceiling. As a creative person, as a celebrity. When I say that, it means I want to do product. I am a product person, not just clothing, but water bottle design, architecture, everything, you know, that you could, you know, think about. And I've been at it for 10 years. And I look around, I say, wait a second, there's no one around here in this space that looks like me. And if they are, they're quiet as
Must state 5 important rules that apply to me because I believe everybody has their own silver lining. Well, for me, it's first and foremost desire. How much desire do you truly possess? I mean, you went to college, you got a master's degree. Does that make you successful? Desire, passion, lack of fear. You can't be scared to gamble on yourself. You gotta be willing to gamble. You can't be scared to throw the dice. Most times, nobody else will bet than you. So you gotta bet on yourself. I try to learn something every day.
My advice is just do things that are true to you. Most things that I'm involved with are extension of being creative. You know, Rockaway is a clothing company. It's part of who you are, and hip hop is your attitude and what you're trying to express, how you dress, I loved sports growing up. I grew up in a household where sports was on 24/7. So these are all things that are comfortable for me. You know, these are things that I like. So I would just say get involved in things that you love, and also have a standard for yourself and have some sort of integrity, and try to, you know, find some sort of truth in what you're doing. All the things that you apply in business, you know, they say that he has great instincts. Well, on the streets, having great instincts can be the difference between life and death, not just losing a deal or incarceration, you know, which is less than death. And being a person of high integrity, you know, people want to deal with you in business, in trust, and honorable, a man of your word. All these things come to play in the business world.
I had to convince myself that I'm going to make it, you know, regardless of how people felt at that time. And what it does is it makes you feel like, well, it made me feel like there's going to be points that people are going to mistake my confidence for arrogance. They don't understand the process I went through and how much I had to believe in myself in order to make these things happen.
Find something to fall in love with, something to be passionate about, right? And then because you enjoy it so much, you'll be able to do it so much that you become so good that everybody's going to love and appreciate you.
I think very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in. And I think in full color. So when I talk, I have to describe a thought in 5 ways. You know, we enjoy food that has multiple seasoning in it. We enjoy music that has multiple instruments. So when I talk, it's not a rant, it's a symphony of ideas. And when you collect them, you say, oh, these are all these things that connect. Yeah, you know, I just tell the truth. And telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies. That's simply it.
Richer than I've ever been, and I pray you richer than you ever been. And that means spiritually, that means mentally, that just means health-wise, and getting to the motherfucking money. Don't be scared to get to the money, and don't be one of them type of motherfuckers when you get around, oh, money ain't everything. Well, you got the game fucked up. You better motherfucking take care of your mama, nigga. You better take care of your kids, nigga. You better take care of yourself. Don't come around me with that fake shit. Oh, money ain't everything. Shut the fuck up. We finna go get a gazillion.
Without people, and just being rich would be very boring. No one to share with, no one to have. You know what I mean? Like, you just be a rich person, one person on the planet, just like, within.
One thing that becomes clearer to me each and every day is that I don't owe anyone a thing, and neither do you. I've seen a lot of people pollute their potential after sipping from the well of entitlement. This is certainly true of many of the people I've been associated with over the years.
As I go through these different levels, there's times where I would use confidence when I knew what I was doing, and I would use arrogance when I didn't know what I was doing. But I'd rather use arrogance than to let someone diminish my idea of myself, because that is what keeps us going. Hope actually keeps us alive. But I went from having confidence and arrogance to having faith. And faith is the opposite of fear. And that created this fearless approach that I have. And that's what now has made me the fearless leader that I am, that I've like crystallized into the leader that my mom always knew I would be when kids followed me in preschool. The leader that people saw when we changed the sound of music. The leader when we changed the sneaker industry. The leader in what we're doing with farming and with shelters.
Hey, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to do right. And as the results begin to come, that feeling of accomplishment, that should be worth more than anything that, you know, your taste buds could give you.
Such a small thing changed my life, right? A 6th grade teacher said, you know what, you're kind of smart. And I believed her. I said, I'm smart, right? So she gave me that sort of opportunity. She sparked the idea in my mind. So that's why my first thing is the scholarship fund, because there are a ton of very intelligent kids that's coming out of these urban areas who can make it all the way if given the opportunity. And things don't happen to you, they happen for you. That's life. Everything is life. It happens for you. Everything is for your greatest good. You can't control the future. I mean, you can control it up to some point. You can't control what others do. You can't control anything. Someone can run a red light, and that's the end of everything. You know, you only can control what you can control. Seeing things from other people's perspective and what other people are going through, you know, it helps me a lot.
Was that somebody else that helped you get to that? Is that therapy? Is that group? Is that
part of therapy, but part of being who I am, you know, but definitely a lot of therapy. I've been taught everything but emotional intelligence. You know, that's not what you're taught as a young man growing up in projects. You're taught to survive.
If I'm working on a project and I don't believe it's going to be a success, I can't do it. I can't keep working on this. I got to do something different. I got to get out of this and go try something else. And because I would say, like, I think you can speak those things into existence. Like, you can put that in the universe that it's going to be a success. And then people can, and eventually people see it. And if that passion registers, they can like it and enjoy it.
You have to move based on opportunity. If you have an opportunity to make a living at exactly what you dream about, you have to pursue that at that time when it's there. If the opportunity isn't there, just keep educating yourself as much as possible so that when the time comes, you'll be even better at that dream that you had. What I keep saying is I don't want to totally touch on this too long because I might like start, crying, but I would think that my mom would trade in every single Grammy, BET, every award for her son to have a doctorate, being that she was Dr. West.
And with time comes experience. And with experience, you learn how to deal with things.
I think in business, one of the biggest things is to open yourself up for change. You don't have to change who you are and how you operate, but just, if the landscape is changed, then the way we do business has to change somewhat. We don't have to change who we are. We have to change the way we go about it.
Willing to go as far as further than the other guy, you'll always prevail. You always end up on top. It's like the kid in the schoolyard that doesn't want to fight always leads to the black eye, because as soon as the other kid identifies he doesn't want to fight, he hits him. Well, see, ambition is not a learned behavior. It's a part of a person's character. So if a person is really ambitious, like, that's what I meant when I said I'm gonna get rich without trying.
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything. I was taught I could do everything.
No one gave me anything. They didn't give me a record deal. They didn't give me anything. Like, I really just took my time and grew it, step by step by step by step. And that goes to not listening to other people again. Because I could have easily been like, wow, maybe I'm right, and maybe what I'm talking about ain't right. You know what I'm saying? They say no one wants to sign me. Maybe what I'm saying ain't right. I could have easily took that. That was easy. That would have stopped the suffering. But I didn't.
I wanted to bring everybody with me. So not be someone new, be a better version of what I already was, but like, you want to do the same thing. They want to shoot dice, they have the same argument, do the same thing. We did that. You know what I mean? It's just circumstances. It puts you back under the same circumstances when you already moved to a different level.
I don't mind losing. I just like to lose at my expense. Let it be my fault. If I'm losing based on someone else's decision to do it, I'm furious.
I think people focus too.
So it deals for the most part with success. It deals with people who you started your life off with and what success does to them. People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same, like you're doing all this for a reason. And what happens most of the time, people change. People change around you because they start treating you different because of your success. So you are changing. You don't change who you are, the core of who you are, the things you believe, the things you love, and the things you die for, and your principles. You don't change that, but you're going to change who you are. You're going to change. You can't do the same things that you can't hang on the corner. Some people may not be comfortable with that.
I try not to surround myself with people that I have to be defensive around. And that is a defense mechanism. Like, anger is a more comfortable feeling to deal with than having your feelings be hurt, or a person did something you being disappointed.
Bring it to the table, baby. You ain't gotta have no money, ain't gotta be no money. It could just be your inspiration, it could be your ideas.
At the door, even if you have a tuxedo on.
These are the things you go through to make who you are. I don't regret those things. I don't regret them because I don't think I'd be who I am today if I wasn't exposed to those situations. If you ask me, would I, those are unfortunate situations that I've had to experience. If I had a choice, I would definitely went in a different direction. I might have wanted to go to school for business instead of having to go through this portion of my life. I decided I'd be an entrepreneur before I even had any success in either. I was hustling with intentions to earn enough money to not have to hustle anymore.
They have you in a box. You can save the world, but you are working on things that are too small. Take a step back. Stop worrying about your college, your loans. Stop worrying about what job that they got waiting for you in Silicon Valley. MIT, you can save the world. Kids in college, you can save the world. I'm putting my life on this interview right now. It's up to y'all. Y'all have the ability to just step back from what you think culture is today. It's not about any candidate. It's not about red or blue. It's about humanity. Y'all talking about is 12 years of oxygen left. Talking about we gonna kill the earth. We can't kill the earth. We gonna kill the things that keep us alive on the earth, and the earth gonna survive. It's up to y'all the future. But what y'all working on right now?
Better get up off your ass and get up early in the morning and do that shit. Man, you could be up early in the morning. You could go run 2 fucking miles. You could sweep, you could vacuum, you could do the dishes. You could make breakfast and go do whatever the fuck it is you gotta do. Or you gonna make an excuse. Oh man, my back hurt. Oh man. Man, fuck that shit. Everybody back, everybody legs, everybody head hurt, everybody all that shit. Nobody don't care about that. They're just trying to give me a little extra money. Nigga, you see all these car wash motherfuckers we got coming around here wash your cars? You been supposed to say, hey man, give me a vacuum, let me do this shit. Hey man, let me do this shit. All these beats being sold, all these features being done, all these, you ain't bringing none of that to the table? You better go get a motherfucking brush and brush the horse hair. The fuck is you doing? You ain't offering nothing? Or you just, I'm gonna wait till somebody give it to me. But bitch, keep waiting, ho. Be patient too. Have a lot of patience.
We're gonna compare it to chess. I think every move made is to be learned from, whether it was a good or a bad move. And I think it all sets you on a path. So in order for me to take back any of those moves, I would have to be unhappy with where I am now. And where I am now is, I couldn't even imagine in my wildest dreams that I would be here.
Like, you did it, you're a billionaire. I'm gonna still be saying, yeah, but I got another idea. And a new idea. And it's what I think is representation of a person who's truly ambitious. Because ambition isn't a learned behavior, it's a part of your natural character, and you'll always find something to be passionate about, or a new goal, or a new... You see guys sell companies $5-6 billion and go, yeah, okay, now what's the next one?
What we want is a real shot. Not, okay, I'm a celebrity, so that means my line has to cost $10 a t-shirt. No, I understand about quality. I understand about fabrics. I spent 10,000 hours at this. I dedicated my life to this. Then a lot of people say, okay, well, you know, oh, you have to do music. I'm gonna keep doing music, but what if people told me I couldn't rap? What would have happened? What if people told me I couldn't perform? You know, I'm only 36 years old. I have other goals and other things, and I'm gonna use my platform, every platform, to stand up and say, I wanna make something. I wanna make the next Ralph Lauren.
The hardest lesson you're gonna gain always is taking a loss. Once you take a loss, that's most definitely, but the experience, you gotta take it like a champion. Take the L like a champion, take the loss like a champion. But you gotta hold your head up, get back at it. And through those experiences, that's what made me who I am. Wow, the most meaningful aspect of having financial freedom for me is the ability to push the green light when you decide to.
And always believe you're great, even before anybody else believes it. You know, it's an extension of my family. It's like the things that I do. I tell my family all the time. I tell my grandmother, my mom, you know, they're proud. They're super proud and strong women, and they won't ask me for anything.
People don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, you know, spoofed in a way. And the irony of it is so many people that are creatives. Think about a creative person in school. When you picture them, you probably picture them all the way in the back of your class, sketching or maybe getting beat up. And I'm the one creative. And this is the reason why I went on stage. This is the reason why I did this. Because creatives have got beat up my entire life. And there's moments where I stood up to drug dealers in Chicago and said, you can't have my publishing, come and kill me.
And the business classes were, if everything you needed was in the book, then the teacher would be too successful to teach the class. Things that are meant to happen will. And if you believe in yourself enough, you can help yourself learn. You can inspire yourself in different ways where you can actually discipline yourself, to the point that you can become good enough.
The person who gave me the best advice for financial freedom was my mother. She always told me when I was young, Will, if you can't touch it, don't do it. She said, when you buy that corner, you buy that address, you could go touch that. I never forgot it.
My interpretation of it, and it's me making my mark. It's saying, here, this is what I want to be remembered as right here, what I call a new classic, because it's influenced by the Marvin Gaye's and the generation before us, but it's not a recreation of what they've done.
do whatever you're gonna do, but you're not going to bully me. You're not gonna stop me, because my mother made me believe in myself. No matter how many people tell me, stop believing in yourself. Stop saying what you can do. Stop affirming what you're gonna do and then completing that in real life. That's the improper way to do it. I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem, with improper information, with branding, with marketing. I refuse to follow those rules. It's about truth, it's about information, it's about awesomeness, and the only luxury is time, the time you spend with your family.
Who got more money and who got more house? You know, you've earned it, buy what you want. But don't forget what's important.
You ever seen a rich one start to fight? When doing well off, don't start to fight.
He there, he's having a good time. His partner, they got bottles.
Right? And then you start to fight is not doing his work.
And always coming up, I always believed in the way you live your life, you affect the outcome of your life, you know, and calm and everything. So I just want to be remembered as a very honest and straight up guy. You know, I'm pretty much a mirror. If someone's cool with me, like energies attract, right? You give off energy, you get that energy back. So just a person that was of the utmost integrity, you know, honest, very hardworking, and someone who really cared about the culture. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm pushing everyone for.
Whatever information is coming in front of you, that you choose what's valuable. But the things that you do hear that are valuable, if you make it your business to keep it, then you have to write it down. So you have to say it to yourself or whatever, and you just keep. The person says something and you go, what did you just say? I was like, put it on my phone. Hold on to it until it becomes a part of you and the way you actually really express yourself.
And I remember the last thing she said, you know what the problem is with all these students? As soon as they did anything, from when they were really little, their parents clapped. And the point she wanted to make to me was, don't clap. You have to push them. You have to drive them. I remember the first time when North climbed all the way to the top of the stairs. Kim would have grabbed her by third stair. But she felt like she had to impress me and be more dynamic, or hit the highest point that she had ever, hit in her life. And Louise was really hard and, difficult with the students, but I felt like when you like Celine, when you like McQueen, all these things that have inspired us, I'm just talking directly about fashion, it's because there were people that pushed that hard.
It's time working out. You gotta be with a motherfucker that's gonna go harder than you. A motherfucker that's gonna tell you 100 jumping jacks ain't enough.
See a great idea when you see something that's inspiring to you. You could push the green light because you can say, yo, I like this. I wanna buy in on this. I believe in this. I wanna take this to the next level. And that's what you do.
For me to take any of those moves back would be affecting the natural course of where I am now. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I mean, of course, there are things in life that you say I could have done differently, but knowing that and being aware of that, for me, it's helped me. Every chess move that I made, I was like, he's gonna do that. It's like it was followed up because I learned from that one. Okay, now I have to change my strategy because, I moved that there, he's gonna move there. Now I have to move this over here. So at the end of the game, I believe I trapped the queen in the corner, to use a great analogy, and I have the king in my side. So I'm pretty happy.
Right now, as a year, we got 1 million people that's listening. Now we can tell them something. Now we can try to get them that way, and we might lose some, we might gain some, but we would never even have that audience had we not said what was real. And even if I get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that what we're supposed to do? I'm not saying I'm gonna rule the world or I'm gonna change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world, and that's our job.